So I'm really fortunate that I get to do something that I love so much. I love sewing, I love designing, I love creating things, I love making artwork. And in the course of like doing all this really fun and wonderful work, of course I've gotten a lot of supplies and things have grown and grown and grown, and it's been really great and I feel really fortunate for that, but it's also been a challenge to figure out my workspace because as things have multiplied, it's been a little bit hard to know where to put them all. A couple years ago, I decided to go ahead and get a long arm so that I could do the long arming of my own quilts. And that sort of took the downstairs office to a whole new dimension of storing things. And then as I was doing patterns, I added more shelving for the patterns. And that also was like a whole other, storage area. When I started doing cross stitch, that was like all my supplies just multiplied, and that also meant that all the patterns multiplied. So it started to become really obvious that I needed to have a little bit more space than what was here. As it is, I had taken over my daughter's bedroom, I'd taken over the foyer, the downstairs room, which was like the size of a family room, parts of the dining room, parts of the laundry room, parts of the garage. So there was business stuff everywhere. And as things kept, multiplying, it was just becoming harder to know even where things were, let alone have other people help me with the business because there wasn't really room for, more than just me to get around in the mess. So when Scott sent me the pictures of the 11 boxes of bolts of fabric that arrived when I was at H&H, that was kind of that turning point of like, I have no place to put these and something's got to change. And so at that point, I'd been thinking about moving the business out for a while. I had been researching industrial spaces and also researching retail spaces and looked at some, but I had a realization that if I left the long arm here, that I probably could move into an office space because I wasn't opening up a retail store. So I came back home and I had a couple appointments, looked at some available spaces, and I found one that's only 2.8 miles away from my house. It's got some multiple rooms for the different things I need, and I'm really excited about it. Right around the same time, there was a local shop that went out of business because the owner sadly passed away. So I went over and I got some of the shelving from there, some carts, some more bolts of fabric, some cutting tables. And I had to store things at our house for a couple months because there were still tenants in the unit we were going to be moving into. So just getting around even in the foyer was crazy, and the amount of stuff that was stored out in the garage. We also had numerous trips to IKEA to get furniture, to get, lights and more shelving and chairs and things like that for the office. Luckily, we did hire movers because, as you know, paper's heavy, fabric is heavy. It would have been a lot for us to do, and we were very busy making furniture, making the things to actually go into the space. So it was kind of exhausting, but it was also really exciting, and I can't wait to show you the tour of the new space. And I'm also kind of enjoying getting some of my house back here too, to be quite honest, and I bet my husband is too. So the next video, I'm going to show you a little tour of the new space, but it's part of the evolution of what's been going on with work.